Hello, I'm Howard Lake from UK Fundraising. I'm delighted today to be talking about a new product that's just launched this week for event fundraisers around the world. I'm very pleased to welcome Keith Williams, COO of Funraisin, and Chris Cable, who is co-founder and COO of District Technologies. Good morning, or good evening for some of you.
Good morning.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Tell us about the product. Why is it so important? What does it do?
So first and foremost, starting at a macro level, obviously we've joined together with District Technologies to create a first of its kind app that has fitness and fundraising integrated into one experience. Why is that important? Why should we all care about it? I think we've all seen in 20 a macro level that, fitness-based fundraising has really sort of been the go sort of experience for fundraising because of the lack of real events. Just on our platform, we've seen tens of millions of pounds raised in virtual experiences, virtual events. So when we look at that amount of money raised, it becomes very, very important because now we're seeing consumers really wanting to get rewarded, track their fitness, get linked to different types of events and experiences. They want to join and be part of a collective with other people around virtual experiences and events. And just on our platform, we've had something like 100,000 users connect fitness to their fundraising. We've had something like 5 million different activities in 2020 logged through fundraising. We've had something like 20 million kilometers, traveled through fitness, connected to their fundraising. So clearly it's important. So what we need to do now is continue as we start to unlock some of the restrictions. We go back to live events. We need to continue to deliver great fitness and virtual experiences to consumers as a standalone virtual event, but also add these experiences to real events.
This is more of a hybrid, a tool that manages hybrid events. Chris, do you want to say something about why that's different and gets us further? Because we've had apps, fitness apps linked into fundraising tools before. How does this move things on?
Absolutely. What we're not looking to do, I guess, here is create just a band-aid style solution for the pandemic that we're currently in. We're really trying to, as Keith said, create a long-term solution for when physical events come back, that can actually complement on-ground physical events and help increase fundraising. I mean, I guess just to take a step back, really over the last 12 months, we've been really working hard on how we can not just provide a vehicle for charities to raise funds, but also actually engage their participants and really give people the shareable tools to actually increase that fundraising. So, for example, building those communities with things like leaderboards and feeds, providing augmented reality, weaving that into the experience. So we can provide people with shareable moments, not just having a record of an activity, but really providing people with shareable moments. We call them surprise and delight moments that people can take out and post on their social channels, share with their community and their friends, which all really links back to increasing fundraising capabilities.
That's fascinating. I think we've got an example of one of those. Do you want to talk us through? We've got the Walking Stars event, which I think took place in Australia in December. Tell us what.
So this was with the Cancer Council in Australia. And what you see here is the white label app solution that we've developed. And this links in perfectly with the fundraising platform. So essentially using their fantastic peer-to-peer platform to link in with the app, and then building in things, these surprise and delight moments, things like these augmented reality filters, augmented reality stats. I think there's another video you have, Howard, of a medal using technology basically to again create these really unique moments that really take the DNA of the charities and of the events and bring them into the virtual space to really kind of increase that engagement over a period of time.
Yeah, and just to add to that, sorry, Howard, just to add to that, that we know, fundraising for events is kind of unique. Fundraising in its own way needs to be social, and we need to tell the story. So this is another great tool to be able for a user to create their own fun content and shareable content that's then going to get indexed really, really well on other social media platforms, because we want people to go back and donate, to that fundraising page or to their friend that's actually doing something remarkable or fun. So what we're trying to do is create or give the ability for users to be really engaged with their fitness and their virtual experiences with audio, augmented reality, be able to do live updates of their activity, but share really compelling user-generated content that then gets onto the social platforms and then ties back to the fundraising page, which then should increase the fundraising amounts for that fundraiser. And we need that. We know that giving needs to be another tool to make giving social.
And what do you think? What does it mean to connect your technologies? Does it mean this you can use any of your fitness apps, or you'd be limited to just one or two?
Yep. So I guess what we're offering here is a white label app solution that connects and is integrated with the fundraising platform. So the beauty of that is you can go through their fundraising system, create fundraising bids, create teams, and that all syncs directly in with the application. And it's a fully branded application for those charities. And there's a few things in terms of actually recording that activity within the application. We have a native activity tracker that's built in, but it also connects with a number of third-party tracking apps and wearable devices. So lots of different options to the user, to the participants. But really, as I say, what we're also trying to do is really enhance that experience while people are actually doing the activity. As Keith said, building in audio cues, augmented reality, have GPS style checkpoints to create a scavenger hunt type game. So really kind of thinking outside of the box on the traditional virtual event experience. And as I say, trying to really elevate that and make the experience actually one that's really engaging and fun to take part in, as I say, rather than just sort of a quick fix for COVID.
Chris just mentioned an important part there where organizations and charities and people working in event teams, they always say to us, we want to smooth out the experience that users have. We don't want to be using multiple different platforms and have our fundraising in multiple different areas. We don't want to have multiple different gamification badges and rewards. We want it all smoothed out, both in terms of the user experience and data and trends that we get. So one of the things that we've worked on with District is just to make sure we smooth out all of that experience so everything is connected. So when you do an activity and you get a badge or reward from it, it sits within your fundraising page, but also sits within the app. It's all mirrored. So one experience and it's all smoothed out, which is something we're really proud of.
I was going to ask, what do you think supporters now expect from challenge events, particularly after last year, the sort of lurch forward to sort of virtual, sometimes shared experiences as well? What do you see now and next, and probably beyond whatever the impacts of COVID are for challenge events?
Well, I think people are genuinely, I would say, surprised in the fact that they're able to raise funds from these digital events. I think that was what we found initially. People were sort of dipping their toe in the water of these challenge virtual experiences. But now I think people are seeing them as a really powerful fundraising tool and experience. And actually they enable charities to cast their net far wider than they would do with a physical live experience. So yeah, really don't see them going anywhere. I think that having that complementary digital strategy for any live fundraising event that returns is really important. And as you say, what we're really trying to do is build those communities, build those things that people are missing from those live events, I say, through the use of technology. So whether that's creating fun, more engaging experiences or more shareable content throughout that experience, building out teams, really trying to essentially bring people together digitally that can't be together physically.
And how do you think that works for event? What tools like your platforms do for event organizers in the future or now?
I think there's two different types of events that we probably see. Your event organizers, this gives an ability to create an event anywhere in the world at any time and connect with an audience anywhere in the world too. So this could be a virtual only experience whereby, people are leading up with their training to particularly do a 10K on a particular weekend virtually. But what this means is it gives them an application and fundraising capabilities to have that engagement during the training preparation, where they can run and meet and connect with others with great engaging content, but also on the day or in that challenge, they're also with other people, connected with other people all around the world, and they can run particular courses anywhere in the world. So for example, why couldn't someone in London run an event or a route in Tokyo, and someone in Tokyo do something else? So it's a way to connect the world and different cities to different runners or different cyclists. The other side to it is you've got a real event, a physical event. This also prepares people in a really engaging way in their training and fundraising, leading up to a real event that actually has a location, has a venue, and then so it supports those runners that are going to be running a marathon or half marathon or whatever it is, real in a physical event. But also what it does, it then creates this community that actually want convenience, that may not be able to go to that particular event, or it's sold out, or for whatever reason it is, they can then run the same course as people that are doing it in the real world, so to speak. So it creates a bigger audience, to Chris's point, and it also connects the world, creates new opportunities, not just for the big event organizers that have the permits for these big cities. This creates opportunities for any charity anywhere in the world to create an event anywhere in any city virtually, if they can't actually go and get the permits physically. The one thing I would say also, in the virtual sense, the return it should be incredibly impactful, because you don't have barriers, you don't have all of the venue to pay for, to close down roads. You're never going to get away from physical events and the love of physical events. Yeah. I'm one of them. You can see behind me, I have events. However, there is this space of convenience and different digital experiences that are becoming more advanced. And that's where we want to be, is advanced digital experiences that the users have started to just adopt and enjoy in 2020. We want to take that forward.
That is fantastic. I love the idea of being able to run in another city anywhere in the world. Yearning for that opportunity.
We like to explore, and this is a great way to explore and connect with other runners.
We do. Chris?
I think, just to add on to that, in terms of frequency as well, once the platform's there, it can be used essentially on a year-round basis. So it could be multiple campaigns throughout the year. It could be an ongoing fundraising challenge, targeting specific audiences in either different geographical locations or different companies or different age groups. It can be very, very tailored and flexible dependent on the audience. Which
charities, who is it open to? Who can use this platform from now? Is it just restricted to any country, or is it open globally?
Yeah, the beauty of it is it's a global product. It's completely borderless, and we can have it open in any location. It's a really flexible product as well, in terms of it's a modular system, so we can really add on things to meet people's needs and budgets as well.
Yeah, and the same with Fund. So the joint technology offering is global in any location, and we've tried to make it two parts really. One is a product that's plug and play. It's ready to go, providing obviously you're onboarded with us, and you've got all of the right things as the organization to actually raise funds and all of those hygiene things that you would normally expect. So there's the plug and play method, but also there is the ability to add different elements on top of the plug and play offering. So you can customize it basically to suit any needs that you might have.
That sounds fabulous. Keith Williams and Chris Cable, thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you, Howard.